What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Death of the Nile. This is the newest film from director Kenneth Branagh. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button, as well as commenting below any video you watch, including this one. So Death of the Nile is, of course, the newest adaptation of the famed Agatha Christie book. It's the second film in the new remake that's directed by Kenneth Branagh, as well as starring Kenneth Branagh. And it sees the character of Hercule Poirot going to Egypt to basically watch over a wedding party. There's an individual who's played by Godot who worries that somebody's going to try and kill her for her money, and then she's married to, of course, a character played by Armie. And in the process of everything, someone is actually killed on a boat on the Nile, and of course Hercule Poirot, who is the famed detective in these books, has the insight to try and figure out who it is. But it goes much, much deeper as like Murder on the Orient Express. So it could pretty much be stated that Death of the Nile is probably considered the second best book in the series of the Agatha Christie books. The first, of course, being Orient Express. As we know, from what I've gathered, the books have lessened in quality as they go along. But these two books are considered pretty popular in their own rights. I mean, the other books are popular, but these are the two most famous. So it doesn't surprise anyone that Kenneth Branagh decided he was going to make this book, because the first one was pretty successful. It was actually quite fun and entertaining to watch. And I think for the most part, Kenneth Branagh just really chewed up scenery in that movie. He was just fun and entertaining. He's a great director, so it looked pretty. It had a lot of style to it. And it's very Kenneth Branagh in nature. It's very old school, but very, in the times of CGI and special effects that he learned from, of course, Thor and so on and so forth. So him doing the second book, bringing that into another remake, I was really excited for. I thought this could have been another fun adventure. It's a murder mystery. It's in Egypt. It's on the Nile. It takes place in the 30s. What can go wrong with a movie like that? It's Kenneth Branagh. The guy knows how to direct. Well, apparently a lot can go wrong with that movie because, as we know, Death of the Nile has had some issues in the oncoming years of it trying to get released in theaters. The first major one was, of course, COVID. COVID pushed this movie back like 6 times, I believe. It was one of those films I think was supposed to come out maybe 2020, like early 2021 or something like that, but it kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. It was the unfortunate nature. It was like No Time to Die. You have to, if they want to release it in theaters, they have to keep pushing it. And the other major problem that isn't COVID is, of course, Armie, who has literally been blacklisted from Hollywood for at least probably 4 or 5 years, depending on however long Hollywood decides to forgive him. But I'm not going to go into details of what he did because I want to make this review somewhat short, but just kind of look it up if you don't know. It's pretty disturbing to be fairly honest. But the other major problem with Armie is he's like a central focus of this movie, so you can't do what they did with all the money in the world and Christopher Plummer this thing. It's not possible. You can't just reshoot every single piece of footage. It's almost impossible. It would be costly. It would ruin the production finance of the movie. So you have to kind of work around it the best you can. They took him kind of out of the posters. They kind of cut him out of the trailers, but he is unfortunately a main focus of the movie because he's married to the Gal Gadot character. So with that said, this movie is going to have problems when it releases in theaters Friday, February 11th. And like I said, was still interested in seeing this. I like, what Kenneth Branagh has, brought to the table. But with that said, for my review of this movie, I have to be fairly and truthfully honest. Kenneth Branagh has another film called Belfast out there. I would actually recommend going to see that film because that film has substance, it has style, it has purpose. Maybe go watch Murder on the Orient Express if you want a good film, because a good film this is not. This is a pretty terrible film, to be fairly honest. It's boring, it's rote, the characters are one-dimensional, there's really no likable character, maybe outside of Letitia Wright, and Hercule Poirot is very laughable in this movie. He is working in like 3 different stories at once. And I don't know if it's because Kenneth Branagh felt overworked. I don't know if they went back and retooled a little bit of stuff. But it just was a film that really felt like he had lost his purpose in life and when he directing this film, or lost his sense of style, because there is nothing about this film that is remotely interesting at all. It's really weird. Even kind of like the overarching narrative of like the the suspenseful thing with like the mistress, and you know, that was going to be married to Armie Hammer, and then Gal Gadot's character, and then the other characters like Russell Brand and even Annette Bening. They're just like 2D characters on a plane. They're caricatures of stereotypes, and I didn't find that interesting. They're very despicable characters as well, and I was like really put off by what this movie was trying to do. And then, like I said, the central mystery, the murders that happen, there you see them kind of coming from a mile away, and then when the revelations happen, you're like, I pretty much predicted that at the beginning of the movie. So it's a movie that just struggles under its own weight of trying to live up to Murder of the Orient Express. It almost makes me feel, because I have not read the Agatha Christie books, but it almost makes me feel like the Death of the Nile is a little bit of a lesser story than Murder on the Orient Express, because the thing about Murder on the Orient Express is the revelation is so kind of interesting and intriguing, and almost like, wow, that's an interesting way to go. But when this comes back to this film, the revelation is just kind of like stale and just kind of, I've seen that before. It doesn't really have a really interesting purpose. And I didn't like this film at all. I don't even think the music's very good. I don't know. I feel like Kenneth Branagh can do much better work, and he has done much better work in the last year with Belfast. I know this movie got pushed back like 13 years or whatever, but Belfast is just such a much better, much more interesting conceptual movie, and this just feels like he just wanted to do a film with a big budget, and there's no drive or love put into this film. And yeah, they try, but they don't try hard enough, to be fairly honest. So, and to kind of close out, you know, with my final thoughts, overall, I didn't like this movie. It's not a film I recommend, worth watching. See it on VOD, you might enjoy it then. But in the end, I think that, you know, Kenneth Branagh can do better. I think the cast can do better. And it just isn't worth your time or money. So there you go. It's probably going to be, like I said, on my worst of the year list when it comes down to it. So anyways, that'll be my unfortunate take for Death of the Nile. Like I said, I expected so much more. But there you go. So anyways, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below, what do you think of Murder on the Orient Express? Are you looking forward to this movie? Did you like or did you not like it? If you've seen it, let me know. Otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button, and as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.